Hey everybody, welcome back to Northern Lion Plays Trackmania. Track of the morning to you, laddies. Track of the day to you. Track of the day to you. It's not even a good impression of essentially anything at all. Anyway, we're gonna play some Trackmania. Take me to the track of the day for August 2020, please. Yesterday we did get the author medal. In the region, we were top 10. It was an easy track. I'm not surprised we got pushed a little deeper here. Decent from egg card standpoint as well. Green Day version 2 is our track today. Here's what people are saying in the Discord. The August 19th track of the day is live. Gold medal 53. Author medal 49.515. Average. Seems like a lot of people really like this track based on the reviews so far. There's a few 4 out of 10s. But then it's like a few 7s and a lot of 10s. So let's play alone here, see what we got. Somebody did say, I'm going to guess there's no GPS back there. Somebody did say today's map is grass tech. So well, this is not grass, that's ice. I mean, I think I've played the track for long enough to... What? Hold on. This part, so far, so good. Keep those wheels straight when you touch the ice. That's where things get a little fricky. What do you do? What? Just give me 1 sec here, okay? You come around this. You go over this thing. There's arrows pointing this way. You know, play against opponents. Let's see if we can follow them. Let's see what our opponents get up to today. So let's see. They go over this thing. You take the... Oh! I didn't even see the checkpoint over there. Okay, that's on me. I'm starting to see the new grass technology that's present. Keep those wheels as straight as possible. Minimum amount of air time. Good hit on the ramp, brother. Okay, way on the outside there. We'll restart for that one. Alright, so now that we know what we're getting ourselves into. The world's our oyster, okay? One of these. Quick little turns. Smoothness. And I gotta tell you, I like that banked corner. Oh, you're not supposed to do that, though. You got hit by the little bonsai. Alright, try it again. Little cut on the grass. I don't know, it actually seems like it costs us more speed. So then we'll take the long way home. Just a little speedy. Keep those wheels turned so when you land you're doing okay. You don't want to get airtime off of this. Absolutely beautiful hither to this point. Okay, we made the same mistake we made a few times before. I'm not upset about the lack of a GPS, for the record. I think that we'll just use nature's GPS, other people. It's like driving in a snowstorm. You just gotta follow the tracks of the drivers who are in front of you. Definitely gonna want to minimize airtime there and there. Oh, we still made it, though. How about that? Oh, where are we going, lads? Some GPS might have shaved off the first few attempts here, but it's okay. It's okay. We're not getting twisted up about it. Okay, there you go. We just hit him with the scat singing. We're gonna be okay here. Might take you a little longer than you might hope for, but that's okay. There you go. Good speed. That's gonna actually, for the first time in a long time, we're gonna gain a little bit. Which is very dangerous, because I don't want to be in front of the ghosts, because we need the ghosts to light our path. It's like, you ever, back in the pre-Google Maps days, you ever have to follow somebody to a destination, but their driving is, like, so insanely slow that you have to constantly try not to pass them? I'm not an aggressive driver at all. Like, genuinely... I know I talked about it maybe 2 episodes ago. I'm a pretty defensive driver, and I always, you know, I very much genuinely judge and look down on people who, as drivers, when they don't use their signal lights or they drive super aggressively, or one of the worst is definitely like on the freeway. They'll move from like they'll pass like 20 people and then try to get into their exit lane as quickly as possible, their off-ramp. Like, you couldn't have just put yourself in the rightmost lane when you knew it was coming. But anyway, even still, there are people who drive so slow that essentially their lack of speed is a hazard in and of itself. It happens from time to time. Dude, this track is so slow. I actually think I love it. Obviously, this isn't how we're supposed to finish this one off here, but we can maybe... we're not going to cross the line, but... The second half of this track is so slow that I actually feel like it's going to be very pleasant. And I don't think pleasantness is necessarily a bad emotion. You know, this feels like one of the slowest track of the days we've ever played, and now I got a little bit of confidence in me as well, which is good for the gold. For the author medal, just... For the author medal, who knows? You know, usually... Here's the thing. If the Discord... I can kind of take the temperature of the Discord. If the Discord's like, fun track, usually that means the author medal is pretty easy. If the Discord is like, I'm done, usually that means the author medal is a little bit more on the no thank you side. But again, whether or not we get the author medal very rarely depends on my own performance. It mostly depends on the standards of the track. Now, you know, the way I would look at it is like, imagine you're like a high school physics student. If you do well in your class, is that because you're good at physics? Or is it because, come on, your teacher has provided you with a test that is appropriate to your level? You know what I mean? Like, I don't think anyone would look at the best 12th grade physics student in the county and be like, we're going to hire them at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, you know, for a full-time position this summer. Doesn't mean they're bad at physics, but they're good at physics relative to their cohort. That's how I see it with me. I'm the dummy. I don't think I'm good at Trackmania, so to speak. But I think I am a gold driver. That was a pretty good run. We can get better, obviously. I think I am a gold driver. So when I get a gold, I'm like, that was appropriate. When we get a silver, I'm like, oh, this is hard. When we get an author, I'm like, okay, this was balanced too easily. If that makes sense. Do you guys see Big Time Tommy's new Instagram post? Hey, everybody. Old school for life. This is Big Time Tommy here with the thought of the day. In school, you get the lesson, and then you take the test. In life, you get tested, and then you learn your lesson. Old school for life. Have a good day. This is Big Time Tommy signing out. I love Big Time Tommy. If you're not familiar with Big Time Tommy, he is a middle-aged gentleman who I believe lives in Florida. He posts motivational stuff that it's just like unbelievably wholesome. But it's like Sopranos wholesome, because there's like a weird air, or not era, a weird air of like almost like opulence surrounding his posts as well. But anyway, just seems like a nice wholesome dude that could probably crush my windpipe with, you know, 2 of his fingers if he wanted to. I think that's true for Trackmania as well, you know? You don't get a lesson on what you're going to do in Trackmania before you do it. You just do it. And then as you're going, you maybe pick up a little bit of knowledge along the way. Now, I don't know if that's what Big Time Tommy was going for in his discourse, but that's, I'm going to choose. I think Big Time Tommy would want me to apply that logic in that way. You know, I don't think Big Time Tommy's the kind of guy who's going to be pedantic and be like, that's not what I meant. I think he's going to be like, you know what, however that lesson speaks to you, then it speaks to you. Seems like that kind of dude. Alright, no airtime. Great corner. Now, if we could just start to nail this one, I think we got big ups. I'm just going to be honest with you, I forgot where the track went. It's the danger of being faster than the gold ghost here. We could probably start to put on some, like, some faster ghosts, not because I think we're going to compete, but just so that they kind of give me a guide to preload what my corners are going to be here. Like that, great corner. We're going to maintain a lot of speed out of there. Didn't lose much on the airtime. Great velocity. If we have to cut a little on the grass, we have to cut a little on the grass. That hurt, because we were killing it there. So right out of the gate, I'm going to tell you, on my own knowledge, merits, and discovery, we do not have a 49.5 in us to get the author medal today. We definitely have a 53, flat 53 or better. The gold will come, and after we get that gold, which could happen on any given run here, we'll start to analyze some better ghosts to see where we might pick up a little bit of intel, pick up a few extra milliseconds. You know what I mean? Like just that right there was very solid for us. That corner, I don't know if we're going to save much time. It's not really a corner, that element. I don't know if we're ever going to save much time there, but if we could at least not crash so often, I think that we would definitely get to our PB a lot faster. Because we don't have to have a completely perfect lap to be competitive with our old self right now. Obviously. I like this track, though. I honestly, I feel a little gaslit in some of the comments. People are still suggesting, like, I hate every track until I get good at it. I very much disagree. I'm like, dude, I feel like... go watch some other YouTubers. You've forgotten what this platform is like, if you think I'm Mr. Negative. I don't know if I'd say I'm Mr. Positive. I would say that I'm Mr. Lovably Cynical. That occasionally will make a statement that's unfair, but then follow it up with like, yeah, but I'm broken too, you know? I think that's kind of the space that I choose to occupy. But you will not break my positivity by suggesting I'm negative. That's what we in the business call gaslighting. What's gaslighting? Gaslighting is when somebody says something about you that you disagree with and you want to invalidate it, so you just call it gaslighting. That's what I've learned. It used to have a meaning. That meaning has been warped. Any disagreement now is gaslighting. And honestly, I'm here for it. In its own way, gaslighting has been gaslit. And it's apropos. I don't know if I'd recommend this particular approach. Alright, we got a little regression here. Remember Big Time Tommy. What would Big Time Tommy do? Big Time Tommy would probably get a bronze medal, but be completely okay with it. That's a good lesson as to why we're not Big Time Tommy. I require a little outside validation, whereas Big Time Tommy has a little bit more self-esteem. I mean, I can't imagine wearing a sleeveless tank top in my 40s. I don't think I've ever worn a tank top, and yet, well, maybe as a child. But even still, my tank top days are behind me. I've never really been a tank top guy. That's what happens when you're 14 years old and you got hair on your triceps. You know what, Big Time Tommy? This one's for you, brother. Old school for life. Okay, that's slow. That's better. So we laid off the throttle there, which is gonna hurt. But it also, if it gets us to a better hit rate, then I'm okay with it. You know, I don't think we need to... Oh, that's no good. I don't think we need to do that well to beat us. This one probably will not do it. We're only up by a little bit. Yeah, but that's we're very, very close to that gold there. So the gold is going to happen. I mean, we screwed that up pretty drastically. Now this part of the track, I do think there's room to grow. Not too much. This part of the track, I do think, pardon me, there's room to grow, but not too much. This part, I honestly think we're doing okay. We tend to minimize the hang time. This is where things get mighty interesting. This is where things get mighty interesting. That's where I think when we add in the next tier of ghosts, they're going to be legitimate there. That's going to help us get to a level, an air of legitimacy. Now, Keep it moving around the horn here. Minimal airtime. Very nice approach vector. We're okay. It's a good lesson that maybe slowing down is worth something, but we are okay. I don't know if we got it. Oh, that's not gonna help. Nope, that's not gonna help. So I don't know. Maybe it is worth like that. That honestly, again, this is all hunches, okay? And we'll probably, you know, reverse a lot of this once we, or at least adjust it once we see some real ghosts. However, no offense to the gold ghost here. But that seems like a situation for me, like in the air, you may want to lay off the throttle on that spicy jump. Historically, anytime I've had a hard time doing an element right after landing, there's one of two solutions, and sometimes they're intertwined. You can lay off the throttle in the air, or you can pre-turn. That's an air brake situation, too. You could pre-turn in the air as well. I don't know, that's... We rattled way too much for this to be what you're supposed to do. But if it works for now, then it works for now, you know? So we're on our own here, but we know how this track works. You come through here. Try to minimize your airtime. That was not a great element, but we're going to maintain our competitive advantage. And that is going to be an easy gold. Moves us up to a beautiful level. Can I get some North American opponents, please? Some familiar names? Some suburban kids with biblical names? Yo, this is, I think the first time I've seen Jamaica in the top North American ghosts here. Mad respect, XVRS. So it's 49 is the author medal? So we gotta beat everybody in this cohort to get there. And then we gotta beat everybody in the next cohort. There must be... Oh, we were driving on the walls there. There must be a sweet spot, right? Like, there must be, like, the perfect angle for that, where you don't have to slow down. The problem is, like, speeding up gives you airtime. Or not speeding up, but holding the throttle gives you airtime. If you approach it at the wrong angle, at least. That time we're going to clip the wall. That's okay. That's okay. We're not sweating here. Pulp Factions. What a name. Alright, so we're behind by 2/10 early. Honestly, can I tell you something sincere? I think I tapped the brakes accidentally by, you know, like literally when the green light came on to send us on our merry way. So that would be responsible for that. But maybe we can see how people are doing here. Oh, dude, okay. I'm not suggesting that's perfect, but certainly much, much smoother than I'm used to. And then just keep your wheels straight here. We've made up a decent chunk of time. So we're probably, yeah, stay low. You want to minimize, okay, that's, I'm not sweating that. We actually pulled back like 1.2 seconds on our PB, which is pretty much what we're going to have to do if we want to stay in competition for the... I mean, if we want to have any shot at the author medal, that's a necessity. Alright, so early on in this track, what are my thoughts? Don't clip the grass. That's a big one. Don't turn your tires until you touch the asphalt. And then... Okay, look, you might not believe me just yet. I feel like we gained more speed than you would expect there. Now, the first ghost here is me. So we got some catching up to do. That's an air brake situation. That's okay. And let's just treat this like practice for now. Just treat this like a little bit of practice for now. Keep those wheels straight. Air brake when necessary. That's beautiful. Stay as low on this as possible and exit as quickly as possible. Much better approach there. Look at how much speed we lost. Okay, that's incredible intel, honestly. That was still gold by over a set. Well, almost a full second. So we're definitely improving. I'm starting to realize that we thought we had squeezed the entire orange here. We haven't even started to touch it yet. You turn as soon as you land on here. Keep those wheels relatively straight. Exit up here. You got less adjustments to make as a result. Turned a little too much. Decent air braking, though. We go wide on the corner. And honestly, we're competitive. We're competitive with our old self. We didn't take that element as well as we could have, but we're competitive. I think there's a lot more for us to glean here than you might have originally thought was coming, but might not be this run. Like, I don't know, did we gain or lose there? We lost, but not much. That was another good lap. That was like 3/10 better than the last time we crossed. I think once we get going here, once we get to normalize all the things that we've been talking about being important for us here, we got a good thing going. I do wonder if maybe, I mean, following the ghosts is nice. I do wonder if maybe we should be cutting these corners slightly differently, cutting them for speed instead of for comfort. See that? We rattled quite a lot. I can't believe that old me passed me there. I thought for certain we would be the ones who passed. That's okay. Hit this three-wheel motion. That's a bad rattle. We could do a lot better in that section. Yeah, like, look at the speed that those guys are getting at the end. It's weird. I kind of want to follow the worst ghosts at the end, because I think they have the best element there. This is not a good start. But you know what? Sometimes people have disagreed with my analysis that there are score effects in Trackmania. Sometimes I just think that being further back can lead to the creation of novel strategies that you can use moving forwards. Strategies that you wouldn't have thought of if you were just trying to protect your lead. This feels smooth. Maintain good speed there. I think, at least. Lost a lot on this corner. But usually we come over pretty smoothly here. Half a second down. Not a great situation for us. I think the dream, it's really tough. I like the course. This one element is spicy. It's not as spicy as some of the stuff on Terracotta, obviously, but touched the grass a little too much there. But I think we want to make sure that we want to land close to the tallest part of the ramp, I think is the weirdness. Because if we do that, it's much... It's much easier for us to not get airtime. And the airtime, I mean, there's two real problems with it. One is that, you know, when you're in the air, you're not generating acceleration on the ground. The other one is that when you're in the air, you don't have as much control. Well, in fact, you have very little lateral control at all over your car, if not none. Makes things much tougher to adjust your position on the fly. Okay, but this is fine. Little rattling. We're gonna still be too far behind. That's okay. So we're only at 23 minutes here. We've had some really good runs, honestly. Again, sometimes there's a curse to golding somewhat early. People think like, oh, you're not getting more medals, like you're not improving to get the author medal. It's a disappointment. Hey, there's lots of steps, you know? This is not, you know, getting one more question right on the exam. This is going from your master's to your PhD. Sometimes it takes a while. In fact, I think all the time it takes a while. Almost all the time. So we got a very, very clean lap here. Maybe a little bit higher on the wall than we're used to, and then you definitely want to exit. No, that's okay. That's okay. You know why it's okay? Because we learned a very valuable lesson. Don't get excited about anything because it could be taken away from you. Okay, here we go. Didn't clip the grass on this one, which means our speed is going to be great. Slight airtime, slight frustration. decent air brake in my... Oh, we were way onto the grass there. But if we keep on this here, 5/10 back, half a second. I'm not saying we got it, but I do think that there is a chance. Okay, I don't think that there is a chance. I think there's a chance we learn something. Like, that was really close to perfect for me. We actually beat our PB, which is insanity to me. We've actually regressed a little bit because people are passing us. I mean, this is super early. The track's only been live for like an hour. Maybe a little bit over an hour at this point, but still. I think we're learning. We're feeling good. Birds flying high. You know how I feel. Yeah, we're right. It is good grass tech today. No rattles? No rattles. So we're in there, dude. Now, our old self was insanely good at this upcoming section. But we got 2/3 on them in advance of that section. I think we're going to lose it. Honestly, the airtime... You see that? Just the little bit of airtime we picked up there lost us 8/10. Maybe even 9/10. So, you know, if you ever wanted an indication of how much airtime can screw you, look at that. Why doesn't the streamer merely choose not to get air next time? Good one. Good one. Why didn't I think of that? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We know we're in there, though. And I honestly think the 50.5 is well within our grasp. What about the 49.5? It'll be a challenge. I'm not saying it's in the cards, but I'm starting to see like a path where I could at least conceive of my ability to accomplish that. Now that was a really solid path through this element. We're going to speed up even more. We're probably going to be like 1.1 ahead by the time we get up here. Sorry, I was wrong. 1.2. Okay, so you come around this way. It's very important you don't get airtime. It was not a perfect corner, because I did lay off the throttle. We kept 0.7 up, though. So we moved up quite a lot there. That's going to be a big win for us. We're in top 10 in Canada. Keep moving me with North American opponents, please. Oh, my God. Just... I mean, can I be honest with you as I look at these right here? I think we can beat this cohort as well. But beating this cohort does not take us to the author medal. What do we need to do to beat this cohort? We need to have a lap as good as our last one, but not touch the throttle. I.e., not give up on the throttle. Through that final section. I really did only let it drift off of the throttle for like what felt like a nanosecond. But sometimes, you know, a nanosecond is all it takes, because there's, you know, runaway effects, score effects, runaway effects, all kinds of effects in this game. Cold FX, that's a Canadian herbal cold medicine that I honestly have no idea if it has any anti-cold properties at all, but I do know people that swear by it. But I also know people that swear that, you know, when they put a crystal under their pillow, they wake up with no headache. So, you know, you might think I'm judging them. Really, I'm genuinely not. I am suspicious of the idea that it could work for everybody the same way it works for that person. I'm suspicious that it's the crystal itself that's causing that. But at the same time, you know, I haven't been in a position where I've had chronic headaches and resorted to things that might seem sort of baseless. So, you know, on an individual level, I'm like, if it works for you, it works for you. Now, if you start selling crystals that are guaranteed to reduce your migraines on Facebook, that's where maybe you start to have a little bit more of a problem with it. But on an individual to individual level, whatever works for you, I'm stoked, honestly. Now, there you go. We're in there. I see myself We're going to get just the... Oh, we didn't get any airtime. That's beautiful. Everybody knows what they're doing here. You want to hit that left side of that ramp. We rattled, but not that much. All right. Nothing will motivate a Canadian like seeing 8 American flags in front of them. Especially when they're on the back of a fast car. It's almost a caricature. Okay, squeeze in there. Didn't cut too much. Did lose something by taking the turn. Rattled a little too much. Probably could have touched the air brake. That was a good sidewinder to keep us in it. We're only down by a 10th. I think we could make up a 10th by the time we get up there. Okay, maybe not. But either way, I know we can make up a 10th here. I think they're still faster than me. Okay, but that was a good lap. That was still a very, very good lap. I think we might have had a chance, but touching the grass, and, I mean, not the clipped grass. Touching the normal grass there caused us just enough to be dangerous. Or not dangerous, I suppose. That's very smooth. Lost way too much there. Even if we didn't crash, we lost way too much there. So we're at 31 minutes. I don't think we have 2 breakthroughs. I think we have 1 breakthrough in us right now. But I gotta say, would I give this track a 10? I probably wouldn't give it a 10, but I would give it high marks. I really like this as a track of the day. It's got a lot of elements I like. I like elements where you try to reduce airtime. It has some light kind of puzzle solving. Admittedly, I would say the new player experience was somewhat unfriendly with no GPS, but I'm not going to hold that against you because I had a great time. Oh, don't clip the wall, please. There we go. Look, did you see the speed we saved by just pointing ourselves in the right direction to begin with? I think we got it. Really? I'm stunned because I recognize the problem. We're driving on the wrong kind of grass for parts of this. But if we sort that out, I'm telling you, I got the elements that I think I need to get me where I need to go here. I think shorter corner might be the way to go. I don't know. Anyway, I'm a big fan of this track. Good sidewinder. Okay, this is another run that definitely has prospects. Okay, that one, I got a little greedy. What's my philosophy? Well, we actually, by not having to turn on the slow-mo grass, it seemed like we actually saved ourselves like a couple of tenths last time. I wouldn't look to that as, you know, a cure-all for the problems in our run, but I definitely think it for sure has, like, prospects. Okay, we're competitive. Had to turn a little bit there, that's going to cost us. As long as you don't clip the wall, just being on the right trajectory allows you to recover some there. We didn't clip the nasty grass. Ladies and gentlemen, I told you we could beat this cohort. 49.95. That's moving us up nicely. Can I get some more opponents from North America, please? Now oh, Joey! Trackmania admin, BTFO. Admins hate him. How one streamer consistently, and by consistently I mean 2 out of 7 times a week, beats his own admin in Trackmania tracks of the day. Probably, well, the admin is still running the track, to be honest. So in order to win this cohort, we got to get to 49.7. The author is 49.5. Honestly, I still thought there was room to improve on our previous run. I know I said I didn't think we had 2 breakthroughs. Well, that's because I didn't really consider our last run a breakthrough. Just consider that good driving. You can see, actually, our PB lost a ton of time on the grass corner. We're still competitive. It's going to be hard to beat our PB through this section. We're pretty good here. As you can see, they made up a decent chunk of time. Don't clip the bad grass. I think we overturned and clipped the bad grass. Yeah, it's going to be tough. We lost a ton of time there at the end. But, you know, that was a good lesson for us just to remain coherent about the fact that, honestly, like, my current PB is really impressive by my standards. I think this is one of our actual best, you know, very recent Trackmania Track of the Day performances. However, it's beatable, dude. It's highly beatable. We're going to have more acceleration than our PB coming out of this section. I think this is a good vector. We're up by a 1/10. Didn't clip the ugly grass. Lost a little bit of tire straightness, but my own tires rattle. Okay. Fair enough, fair enough. Alright, I'm starting to... I wouldn't say I'm pessimistic. I'm starting to realize that all of my insults towards my previous PB were not self-love. I think that we gotta recognize that old me did a really good job there. We don't want to turn so much on that one. You know what? That's good intel. See, by the way, I don't mean to be braggadocious. The top ghost is definitely landing on the highest point of the track. Now, this still seems good to me. I let it ride. Just look at... Okay, you take a heavier corner off the end there. We're going to clip the wall. But that, I think, following that first place ghost, you kind of go midpoint up the wall. And maybe this is not the author metal strat, but you kind of go midway up the wall. And then cut down sharply. So let's just keep those words in mind next time we find ourselves there. That was really good. We rattled slightly, but I still think we got good speed here. Then here, we're going to be a lot to the right, quite frankly. That's the one where I'm like, I think we have to do it in order to maintain... Oh, I love a gray split, dude. You can tell I'm having fun, because we have not even talked about, like, ending the episode, even though, like, I'm, again, not trying to flex, but I'm insanely busy right now. It took a track of this quality to get me to forget about that, even though we're 38 minutes in today. But I think we have to do that high-risk, low-reward play to stay competitive. As ridiculous as it might sound, I buy that prop bet right there. I do. Okay, yeah, there you go. That was good. That was good. Even though it looks bad, I think we're keeping more speed than our old PB. Minimize the distance of the loop. Recognize this is a good position. We're on the right side. Do need to cheat a little bit right there. And then this is where we can make up some time. You go high-ish on the wall, and then cut down sharp. I think we lost some of the wheel straightness we would have needed to keep there to get that. But it's an iterative process, and we're learning. We only lost less than a 1/10 on those final elements to our old PB. And honestly, our old PB was really good there. We don't need to beat our old PB in that section. We just need to beat it by enough where if we're close to the split, we'll stay ahead. And again, you don't need to cut too much off of your best possible time here. Or your most recent PB, I should say, not best possible, but you know what I mean. In order to have realistic aspirations of being on the top here, like the difference between first and last is half a second. It's a really hotly contested cohort here. I like the cohort meta. I apologize if you're in the egg carton. Honestly, you know what it is? Like, you should be apologizing to me. A, because I'm the streamer, but B, won't somebody think of the streamer's feelings? But B, Additionally, oh, this is great. Because y'all in the egg carton are too good. And as a result, oh, hello. Hello, Jerry. As a result of your goodness, I can't race against you because your ghosts get too far ahead of me. Oh, no. Bro. We had the perfect lap. That was not going to be, in all likelihood, author medal, but it was definitely good. But you know what? If we could do it once, we could do it again. That's the spirit. That's what Big Time Tommy would say. I much prefer that meta right there. You lose a little speed on the jump to set yourself up for full acceleration in this section. We're going to clip the wall there. That's life. That's life. That wasn't a perfect run. So I think today is going to be the day where I'm like, you know what? Despite being a very touchy author medal, I for sure like see a world where I get it. I don't know if it's going to be in the next 15 minutes. I think we're still competitive here, believe it or not. I wouldn't. Yeah. It's a more technical track than you'd think. Everything has a little bit more. Everything has a little bit more meaning attached to it on this one because every minor mistake changes the tone of the game quite drastically. Okay, I'm stunned at how much time we made up there. So I'm realizing, you know what? Try to put that one in the cerebral cortex. What are you putting in the cerebral cortex? Cut that corner. Cut like corner 3. I don't know if it's actually corner 3, but cut it. Look, it's not complicated. I just need you to cut it. Snip, snip. I want to cut it off. Snarf! Heavy turns. I think we lost something there. We lost something there. We didn't get to go straight fast enough. But you know what? Lesson learned. It didn't really matter if we crossed there. So I think we're putting it all together here. I think we're putting it all together, baby. Here, just do what you know to do. You know, this part, it does make a difference, but we're not sweating it too much. Then cut this corner in a huge way and avoid airtime. That's the real killer there. I mean, if you can cut it and avoid the airtime, that's... If you have to choose one, we choose avoid airtime. Somehow we're still fighting here, though. Minimize the distance of the loop. Still in there, still in there. We got speed. Oh, we had the speed. We had the speed. Hurts, don't it? Okay, I'm telling you, you may think I'm deceiving you. We are knocking on the door. Look at that. I mean, we just crushed our last split. If only I had my wheels turned to the right when we landed there, but we're still up there, dude. We're way out of the pocket on this one. Requires a corner. You know what? We're still up. Airtime's gonna crush us. If the wall didn't crush us, the airtime was gonna crush us. But I'm telling you, the PB is happening. The PB is actually, we're knocking right now. This is the most confident I think I've ever been this late in a Trackmania video that the PB is still on the horizon. Most of the time I'm just waiting for, you know, the Trackmania gods to take my bloated corpse away. I even think this could still be the PB. I don't know how we made up time there, but the time has been made up. The airtime has been made up. Okay, so what's the problem? We need to drift further to the left. So maybe taking that corner on the long side of the tunnel or the tall side of the tunnel is actually sensible. Clipped our wheels there, unfortunately, but we're still in the running. Maybe taking that corner tall is actually important. Like, that's the dream right there. So that we can get the proper exit onto our next element. But you can see, dude, like, the power on this one is still with us. I think we're okay. I think we're okay. Did we just beat the cohort too? Am I crazy or did we beat the cohort on that one? Oh, baby. I gotta tell you, I genuinely think if the author medal is 49.5, I think we have it. I think it might be very tough, but I think this track plays to my strengths. I don't only call it out when a track plays to my weaknesses. Right here, I think this track plays to some of my strengths. So this, we fell way behind. Now, if you can just repeat what you did on the track. Yeah, that's a terrible start. We're not going to beat our previous best. And if we do beat it, I'll tell you, we're not going to beat it by the 2/10 required to get gold. Look at how close these are right now. It's another like 0.3 of a second from first to last in this cohort. I like this track. You know what? I think I would revise my earlier estimation. I think I actually would give this track a 10. By track of the day standards, this is a perfect 10 in my world. I'm having a fantastic time. Consider this your letter of reference. Good speed. We took a roundabout approach, but that was good speed. I bet we can be ahead of our previous by way more than that, though. Wheels rattled there. That's spicy. How do they take it? They take it lower. They take it lower. They exit way more left. No airtime. Dude, this could be it. Never mind. I think they're a little faster. Yeah, we lost a lot at the end there, actually. It's crazy to think that only the top time on this cohort is the author medal, too. And even then, it's only by 0.002. Do I think it's a fair author medal? It depends on what you think a fair author medal should be. I think this is a tough author medal that most of the time I wouldn't even be able to sniff. But today I can sniff. You want to, yeah, make sure your wheels are turned right when you hit that ramp. But I'm able to sniff it because this track, for whatever reason, it just feels like home to me. So they all take it a little low. I'm way slow, though. Well, we're at 50 minutes, roughly. This might be where we start to call it. I don't see the miracle coming for me today. And that's completely okay. Because I think I've had a wonderful time. I've had a wonderful time regardless. And I would highly recommend this track. I don't know what I'm thinking there. But I mean, my old PB is so bad in that section that somehow, even with what is a major mistake by our standards right now, we're still doing fine. Good! Wheels turn to the right. We're still further behind. I'm really impressed that my PB rattled the tires and still managed to stay, you know, that tight. I'm impressed with myself. I really wanted that one. I am watching to see just like, you know, some of these drivers, they are taking the short path and then taking a little airtime. That's gonna kill us. Dude, but I can't shake the feeling here that we're just like one perfect line where it all comes together away from a sweet, sweet victory. That's way outside on the corner. On the bright side, we'll have crazy speed. That's no good. But it really is, we're starting to get to the point where you gotta be so dialed as to be, you know, surprised. Let's put it that way. Didn't notice everybody is on the left of me when we come through that ice tunnel? Am I missing something there? I don't know. Honestly, I'm like... I feel like it's still working out pretty well for me through that section, but... Can't say with authority that's not the way to do it based on that, but... Didn't notice an immediate improvement at least. Little too far to the right on that ramp. The rattle's going to cost you. And you know what else is going to cost you? Not being on even close to the right line. Let's see where we're at on the next split. I don't think we're catching up. Oh, we lost a lot. All right. I'm going to give it one more college try. I don't know why they call it a college try, right? It's not to say not everybody tries hard in college, but at least in undergrad, I really feel like a college try is like doing it at the last minute, and then when it gets tough, being like, well, that's good enough, and then being like, well, I tried. What are you mad at me for, Professor? So when I said one more good college try, what I meant was one more good private sector try. We just keep alternating the elements that screw us, or that we allow ourselves to be screwed by. Like this one, when we nail this, which we basically did there, then we come through this and don't hit the ramp properly. This time we hit the ramp pretty nicely. All you gotta do is land with your wheels slightly to the right there. I don't know, man. Like, I'm so consistently at the back there. And it's not by much, but it's by enough to kind of at least illustrate that our problem element is definitely... I mean, we're back here by a little, but the problem element is definitely the jump to that cambered corner. I think if I didn't hit the apex so badly there, we were in there. So apparently we're still going. Bad start, but plenty of time for recovery. Being down on your current PB through this section is not a good look, but we'll at least get a shot at the element that was causing us so much grief. But I'm willing to say it. One of the most fun tracks of the day. Little technical. Little fantastical. Lots of room for improvement on every single lap. At least the way that I... You know, the mistakes I made in their own weird way were actually really nice. Because they allowed me to have some hope as we went through here. I do wish I could get some downforce on that bend. We're not sweating the little things like your car being slightly turned to the side. We're sweating the incredibly major things like getting airtime and screwing this part up. See what I mean? Okay. People are catching up, but I honestly thought we did really well there. So I'm not willing to take a chance by... What?! Old me, what the heck are you doing? Didn't lay off the throttle, that was just terrain. Alright, skirt. Thanks for watching, hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. I mean, this is a really... I didn't even touch the egg card, and I apologize on this one, but really, really fun video today. Top 2 BC. One person in the province has the author medal right now. Top 30 in the egg card. I'll take it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. I'll see you next time. See ya! Got alt tab here.